I have an ebook on Amazon. It was published by Bear Manor Media called Obsessions and Exorcisms in the Work of Joyce Carol Oates. Part of the springboard for it was an article I wrote, an essay that I wrote called From Masochistic Provocation to Violent Retaliation, the Rape Victim in Joyce Carol Oates. It could have been called The Sex Crime Victim in Joyce Carol Oates because it includes cases of molestation, not just rape. After reading the essay that I wrote, Joyce Carol Oates wrote back to me, "You are a sensitive and probing interpreter of literary works." I also wrote other essays about the works of Joyce Carol Oates because she is my favorite modern author. One of them was called Bureaus Are for Investigation, which I later worked into a subgroup of another essay called Art and Artists in the Art of Joyce Carol Oates. And about Bureaus are for Investigation, Joyce Carol Oates said, "This is very intriguing. These stories I'd written long ago came back to me in your graceful essay." In the overall essay, Art and Artists in the Art of Joyce Carol Oates, she wrote back, "Fascinating. You seem to have read virtually everything and to have thought assiduously about it." I also wrote an essay called Poor Whites in the Works of Joyce Carol Oates. She wrote back, "Interesting. Thanks for sending this thoughtful essay." And I wrote an essay entitled Art and Artists in the Art of Joyce Carol Oates. I just said about that. I wrote one called African Americans in the Works of Joyce Carol Oates. She wrote back, "Interesting. Because it is bitter and because it is my heart is one of my favorite novels of my own and filled with much nostalgia. Thanks for sending this." Okay. Now, she has also written other compliments about things that I don't mention in that ebook. For example, I wrote an essay about a collection of hers called Haunted. And she wrote back, "This is written with your with your usual insight and depth of perception. Reading it was a thrilling experience. Some of these stories exist in a limbo of sorts in my imagination, near forgotten, though through your concise summaries and commentary, they have sprung vividly to life. Adventures of the imagination, my feeling about these." I also sent her an essay I wrote, which wasn't about her work, but it was called The Bible's Bamboozled Men and Hornswoggling Women. And she wrote back, "Yes, well done. Very nicely deconstructed stories. But these are in the interstices of overwhelming male patriarchy and privilege. These women are notable exceptions. Thanks for sending these little vignettes." Okay. I also wrote an essay on Mysteries of Winterthurn, one of her novels, and she wrote back, "Thanks for sending your insights and commentary on Mysteries of Winterthurn." And I wrote an essay about The Collector of Hearts, and she wrote back, "Some very sharp insights here. You seem to have a natural gift for the surreal grotesque." Okay. Now, I would like to encourage anybody who might be interested to, you know, the ebook doesn't cost very much, and I hope that you might get something out of it. It's Obsessions and Exorcisms in the Work of Joyce Carol Oates by Denise No, and it is on Amazon. And you know and I wrote it because I saw a lot of things that were recurring.